What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today is the start of a brand new series, a series that I'm calling Weekly Heat. Things are finally starting to ramp back up again after the coronavirus pandemic, and it looks like because of that, sneaker news is starting to go crazy. There is so much new information coming out about new sneakers, new release dates, and new collaborations that I felt like a bi-weekly sit or sell series just wasn't enough. So I wanted to start a new series that was similar to sit or sell, except rather than just talking about the sneaker releases for a specific amount of time, we talk about everything, all the sneaker news for that week. And I've sort of decided on the name Weekly Heat for a lot of different reasons. The main is that most of the good names are already taken, but if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know if there's any names that I just didn't think about. So this is the first episode of this brand new Weekly Heat series, and I've got to say, a lot of the stories that we're talking about today and a lot of the sneakers that are dropping soon are fire. Like, there's a lot of crazy good stuff dropping. So without any further ado, let's jump right into Weekly Heat. So starting things off, we've finally got the release date for the brand new Bodega New Balance X-Racer All-Terrain. So this is kind of funny. There's actually a subreddit called Seth Fowler Official. I did not make it. Someone told me about it in one of my live streams, but I was on it last night and I saw that there was actually a meme about me loving every single Bodega New Balance collaboration. And you know what's funny? That's like 100% on point. Also, this subreddit consists entirely of Seth Fowler memes, which is awesome, but also a little scary. But I mean, they're right. I love every Bodega New Balance collaboration. Everyone that's dropped so far has been fire, and this one's no different. By the name, I'm sure you can figure out that the Bodega New Balance X-Racer All-Terrain is an all-terrain sneaker. It's the kind of shoe that you wear when you go on hikes or just walk in the mall, I guess. I don't really know. And because of that, it has a much more rugged aesthetic. And to be honest, I think that's what gives it its charm. It's a crazy multicolor sneaker that's covered in premium materials, and if Bodega didn't send me a pair, I would probably have bought one myself. The release date has officially been announced as June 25th. It's releasing on bodega.com at 10 a.m. on a first come, first served basis. And I know this isn't a sit or sell, but I definitely think this shoe is going to sell out. Next up, we've got images of the upcoming Air Jordan 1 Low Varsity Red. Now this shoe bears a striking resemblance to the Air Jordan 1 High 85 reverse bred that dropped during All-Star Weekend. And really, if you missed out on that pair and still love the colorway, this is a great way to go. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if this release actually increases the resale prices of the high 85s because people will start remembering those shoes and want them again. It's a pretty good looking sneaker and it's officially called the Air Jordan 1 Low Varsity Red. Jordan Brand has called so many different shoes the Air Jordan 1 Varsity Reds over the last year. I don't know how this one's a Varsity Red versus the other Varsity Red, Air Jordan 1 Low and Air Jordan 1 High, but apparently it is. This shoe has a retail price of $90, which is really cheap, but it's kind of standard for Air Jordan 1 Lows, and unfortunately right now it looks like this pair is just going to release randomly at stores during the summer. That just seems to be what Jordan Brand does with some of their low top and mid top Air Jordan 1s. They just kind of send them out to stores and they put them on shelves whenever they feel like. I don't know if this shoe will completely sell out, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised, and if you want a pair, make sure to stay on the lookout for it. But now let's move on and talk about the Adidas Yeezy Quantum Barium and how it's not actually green. I'm not 100% sure what barium means, so I'm going to Google it and see if it means green. It probably doesn't, but let's find out. It's actually a chemical element with the symbol Ba. That's how much I know about science. Also, I don't know why people thought it was green. The Yeezy Quantum Barium is officially releasing on June 25th for a retail price of $250. The only place that I'm pretty sure this shoe is going to release is on Yeezy Supply because they have a countdown counting down exactly to June 25th, which makes me think that it's probably dropping there. For some reason, these Quantum releases have been so stupid limited. And I know people have been asking for more limited Yeezys, but this is like extremely limited. Another question that I've been getting a couple times on videos about the Yeezy Quantum Barium is whether this shoe is a basketball model or a lifestyle model. And it looks like the Quantum Barium is actually a basketball model because it has the TPU cage on the midfoot. Colorway wise, this shoe looks very similar to the original. It looks like the entire heel area of the sneaker is exactly the same, and the only real change is the prime knit, actual knit on the midfoot and the TPU cage color. I'm excited about it because I sold my pair of Quantums and I've wanted another pair ever since, and if I can grab one, I definitely will. But continuing on, we've got an official release date for the Atmos Sean Witherspoon Asics Gel Light 3. And that release date is June 27th, and it looks like as of right now, it's only releasing in Asia. I guess that makes sense because Atmos is a Japanese store and it's probably only releasing at Atmos stores, but there is actually one in Harlem, so I'm not 100% sure. This shoe is interesting because it continues Sean Witherspoon's corduroy legacy, as I like to call it. The shoe is completely covered in corduroy, very similar to what he did on the Nike Air Max 197. The only real difference is that the Asics logo on the side of the shoe is actually Velcro and can be replaced with another Asics logo, except come to think of it, you can do that on the Nike Air Maxes as well. They had a Nike logo that could be pulled off with the tongue. It's basically the same exact shoe on a different model. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I think people will be excited about this shoe because it's a multicolored corduroy sneaker like the original pair. I don't think Nike's gonna be too stoked on that. Actually, I wonder if that's why it's only releasing in Asia. Maybe Nike barred them from releasing it? That doesn't make sense though. Regardless, visually, I really like the way the sneaker looks. I do think it'll sell because people seem to be into that sort of multicolored corduroy look, and they probably have some FOMO about the original Nike pair, but it's kind of more of the same. I'm sure there's gonna be some Asics fanboy out there who's like, no, it's different because of this or that. I don't really care. It's the same concept. It looks like after months of teasing us with pictures, we finally have a release date or a release time frame for the Yeezy foam runners. And that time frame is June. So expect them to drop in June. I don't know when. The Yeezy foam runners are one of the most wild looking sneakers, or I guess maybe slides. They're kind of slides because they're foam, but they're not really. They're more sneakers. I don't know. They're the craziest footwear to release this year, possibly. Apparently the foam used on the shoe is algae based, and it was algae that was grown on Kanye West's Wyoming estate, except I don't know if it's fully grown there yet. Maybe they don't have the resources to do it there yet. I don't know. This shoe is just too wild. It's an interesting concept, and I'm excited to see it in person. I know Kanye is all about manufacturing in the US and sustainability, and that's why he's trying to move most of his manufacturing to Wyoming. That's why I think that the algae is based in Wyoming. Sounds like I'm talking about a firm, algae, but no, it's just literally algae. At this point, I don't really know the backstory of this shoe, but I'm interested to know more as we get closer to release, and it looks like the shoe is going to be somewhat attainable because the price should only be around 60 bucks. But of course, it's a brand new Yeezy, which means that it's going to sell out instantly, so good luck getting a pair for retail. So just to keep you guys up to date, the Nike Space Hippie collection has been moved in the United States to July 3rd. For me, that was one of the most exciting collections coming out of Nike this year, and I'm really excited to finally get a pair in hand. Bought a pair off StockX about a week ago, still waiting on it, so hopefully you guys will get a review before the shoe actually releases, but we'll have to wait and see. Based on the demand that we saw for this release in other countries, I do think every single one of these pairs will sell out, and personally, I'm going for pair 01, which is probably the most basic pair, but it's a pair that I could probably wear the most. But the pair that I ordered on StockX is the third pair, or pair 03, because that's the pair that you guys seem the most interested in, so make sure to stay tuned for that review. Again, the US release is July 3rd, so if you want a pair, make sure to stay on your game because I'm pretty sure that they will sell out. Next, we finally got images of the Air Jordan 3 with that crazy Jumpman Nike Air clear heel tab thing that we've been seeing for the last couple months. However, it has come out that this shoe is not actually a pair of Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds like we all thought, and is instead a pair of Air Jordan 3 Denims. But the colorway is still kind of similar to the Air Jordan 3 Fire Reds, and if you really want a pair of Fire Reds and you don't want to pay the resale price for the 2013 pair, I guess you could buy this pair and then paint the midsole or something. The reason for the denim naming of this shoe is that the elephant print is now replaced with denim, but it still has kind of an elephant print texture to it, which is interesting. But obviously the most interesting detail of the shoe is still the heel tab. It's a clear rubber heel tab with the Jumpman molded onto it, and then underneath you can actually see through to a printed red Nike Air logo. I've got to say, the concept is actually pretty interesting, and while I would still prefer a standard Nike Air heel tab, it's a cool look. Also, when you look at these images, it's actually kind of hard to see the Jumpman on there. You can really only see the Nike Air branding, so it's almost like the Jumpman isn't even there if you didn't like this whole heel tab situation. But no matter what you think of this Air Jordan 3, this shoe is slated to drop on August 1st for a retail price of 200 bucks, and expect this shoe to probably sell out. After that, it looks like Beyonce is dropping 4 new Adidas Ivy Park sneakers. Pairs include a Neon Ultra Boost 1.0 with the gum outsole, an Adidas Forum Mid in a teal colorway with the gum outsole, an Adidas Forum Low in a tan colorway, and the Adidas Sleek Super 72 in black. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not familiar with like 75% of these silhouettes. The only shoe I've actually heard of before is the Ultra Boost 1.0, but they're all fine. I'm not in love with any of them except for the Ultra Boost. That neon green Ultra Boost with that gum outsole is fire. Do I like it as much as the maroon and orange Ivy Park drop that happened a couple months ago? Probably not, but man, it looks good. Plus, it's an Ultra Boost 1.0, which seems to be the only Ultra Boost silhouette that can sell out right now. The pack is set to drop on October 15th, and because we're so far out, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some changes when it comes to release dates, price, or even silhouettes. Next up, and kind of some cool news, have you seen the new Kobe and KD EYBL signature sneakers? They are fire. Nike EYBL stands for Nike Elite Youth Basketball League, and even though the league was canceled this year, obviously because of the coronavirus, it looks like they're still releasing the player exclusives. And these shoes include a Kobe 5 Pro Tro and a KD 13, and they come in this insane tie-dye colorway that looks awesome. These colorways remind me so much of like the mid to late 2000s Nike basketball collections that came in crazy colors and crazy prints. I miss that so much, and this is just like such a throwback. I love them. I wish they were releasing to everyone, but they're not. And then rounding off the video, we finally got more information about the women's Off-White Air Jordan 4 sale release. This Off-White Air Jordan 4 comes in almost an entirely sale colored upper and midsole. I mean, it's literally one of the most off-white sneakers that have released in the Off-White collection. The shoe looks to come in primarily suedes with that signature Off-White branding on the midsole and on the medial side of the sneaker, and of course it's got that exposed foam around the ankle. It does unfortunately look like this shoe is going to be a women's exclusive, so if you're part of the Bigfoot gang, you might be out of luck. It's also kind of interesting that a mainline Air Jordan Off-White collaboration sneaker is only releasing in women's sizing. I'm wondering if just this colorway is going to be exclusive to women and they'll release like a bred Air Jordan 4 for men, but there's no way to know for sure. Regardless, this Off-White Air Jordan 4 is currently set to release on July 25th for a retail price of $200, and of course being an Off-White Air Jordan model, it will definitely sell out. But that wraps up the very first episode of Weekly Heat, and I would love to know your thoughts on this new series and whether you want to see me do more of these or whether you just thought it was a dud, so let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I would love to know your thoughts on the sneakers that we talked about in today's video, so again, let me know in the comment section down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.